Hello folks and welcome back to Rome Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 64 of my Imperial campaign where I'm playing as the Julii, and I don't want to make any promises here, but today might be the day. Today might be the day that we do start the Roman Civil War. Now I say that more so because I'm going to be running out of money more than because I'm feel like I'm ready. I'm really close. I'm very, very close. I was looking at how things are looking before I started recording just now, and it's mostly the army that's based here in Batavium that I'm still waiting on putting the finishing touches on, because I adjusted my plans from deciding that I was just going to play defensive here to deciding that, hey, Segestica's right there and it's basically undefended, so I could take that. And I may as well take that. However, to do that, I do need some artillery. At least I would like to have some artillery to be able to take it on turn 1 of the Civil War. And I got 1,700 denarii left in my treasury. And I'm making negative 326. So that's going to be my projected treasury total. Yikes. So this is what going to be the last thing that I build is a heavy onager here in Batavium. Yeah, that's a little bit scary. That's a little bit scary. I guess. What? So these guys have already been paid for. These legionary cavalry. Okay, and they're going to be they're meant for this garrison up here in Batavium. And I think it's just getting troops moved into position. So the Civil War, will the Civil War be started in this episode? I suppose it should be. Now there are brigands to fight, of course. And, you know, as long as that doesn't take up the entire episode, we should be good to go. With that being said, fighting brigands has just been an absolute joy, and I would love to just spend the entire game fighting brigands, so why even start the Civil War when I could just do this forever? I'm kidding. It's awful. It's awful, and there has been a discussion going on between myself and a viewer. I believe he's been commenting on my Egypt campaign, so I don't know if he's also watching this campaign. Is it Elfon Skopla? Elfon? How about I just call you Elfon or Elf? Hopefully I'm getting that right. But he's someone who has suggested that maybe lower taxes and high law would be a solution to having lower brigand spawn rates. And I responded by saying I looked it up in the game code and I didn't see anything that suggested that. I know y'all have already heard this before. It's about the province size and yada, yada, yada. So I talked to him about this, and then he went back in and reinstalled the game and booted up a campaign to check things out for himself. And he did report back that he thinks that based on, you know, lower taxes and high law, that he's seeing less rebels or brigands. Now, I inquired further. I would like to know what faction he's playing as, what part of the map he's in, and, you know, how far into the campaign has gotten, so on and so forth. I would like to continue this discussion to further pick his brain and see what he is seeing. But I wanted to say this to further invite the rest of y'all into this conversation as well, even though it's just anecdotal experience, even though it's just your opinion and your experience versus mine or his or whoever's. I think that when you build it up over the course of many people sharing their experiences, we can get closer and closer to a clearer picture. Now, I may have projected an aura of you know, knowledge when I say things like I look into the game code and whatever, I copy pasted it into ChatGPT. Now, here's the thing with that. First off, if I ever, you know, made it sound like I knew exactly what was what based on that experience, then that was misleading and I shouldn't have been. For the topics that I'm pretty positive about, I made videos of. There's 2 of them. That's the Roman Civil War, the causes of that, and then Warcry, you know, the actual effects of that Warcry ability for the barbarian factions. Those are the 2 things that I've looked up so far in the game code and felt like I came to a pretty clear picture of. And the thing is, though, is that the way that, and for, you know, if any of y'all have talked to an AI before. There's something, there's a thing that it does where it can kind of make it seem like the answer that they provide is the definitive answer, and then sometimes you're left thinking, well, maybe I should investigate further, and then sometimes it kind of words it as if that's all there is to see there. And I've noticed that a lot when talking about Total War games with AI, where I will say, okay, well, what about this though? After it's kind of declared something that's definitive, and they'll say, oh yeah, there's that as well, and it's like, yeah, that's there too. So does that change things? And yeah, of course it changes things. It's new information. Oops, what am I doing? What is that? Never seen that before. So I wanted to say that the reason why I haven't made videos, like any more game code, investigation videos for other topics, because I've done a lot of investigations. So why am I not making videos of all these things? Well, it's because I'm not sure of what I'm seeing. That's why. I only like to make these videos if I'm really sure that I've really gotten to the bottom of it. Even though, yes, I have investigated the whole brigand spawnage rate thing. I don't know. The thing is that when I say that it's mostly based on province size, I'm paraphrasing here. There was more information that it popped up, but that's the main thing that kind of stuck in my brain. So I would have to kind of go back and look over my notes on that one. So all of this is to say that if you have an opinion and enough experience with this to where that you can say something, anything, anecdotal, it doesn't matter. That's anecdotal counts. And if you can kind of explain it, what factions you're playing as, and kind of provide a detailed, somewhat as much as you can, description of the process that you sort of came to your conclusion and whatnot, I would love to hear it, because I want to believe that there is a solution to brigand spawnage rate. I want to believe that lower taxes can fix that. And I continue to think that I can potentially do some experimentation on my own in some of these campaigns. It's tough though, because finances can be so tight that, all I want is more and more taxes, more money to be able to fund everything that I want. But I think I mentioned at the end of the last episode for this campaign that the mystery of Iberia. What is going on here that's not going on here? We get a fair few brigands in this part of the map, but not so much in Iberia. And I keep thinking about that over and over again. It just keeps going through my head. What's different? What is going on? Like, if I look into this stuff, is there something going on here? Is it unrest? And actually, now that I just opened this, I did not prepare this at all. I just opened this up. And so looking at unrest, I've conquered Iberia. It was a while ago, right? Now, I thought that unrest was something that would go away after some time. It can be caused by spies, I believe. Okay, let me look. Okay, so 15%. 15%. So it's at a base 15%. And then 20% but they're bigger. Cordobas they have like population issues, I think. And then what about here? Is this 15? 15. Okay, I'm going to keep looking now. So 0 in Upper Martius. 0 here in Lebanon. This is all 0. So it wouldn't be linked to unrest. So then we get up to, okay, so this is 15% again, even though it's 3 of them, but yeah. 15. So this would just be based on, so 20%. So this is just based on the time it's been since I've conquered it. That has to be what it is. So it must be thinking that I've conquered these Eastern barbarian settlements around the same time as Iberia. That's why it's 15%. And then Cordoba, there must be some issues going on with it being what population or whatever. So that doesn't explain the brigand thing. So what would it be? Law then? Law. What if I look at law? So 10% in Narbo Martius. What, 0% in Lugnum? Yeah, so 0. There's 20% in some more Briva, and I feel like we've just had brigands up here, even though we have 20% law. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything there. No. So not a ton of law, but there is some here and some more Briva. Then what about down here? So we got law in Osca. 0 law there. 0 law. 0 law. Got law here, 50% there. And then 10% in Carthago Nova. Yeah, not really helping us out, eh? It's not really getting to the bottom of it. Distance to the capital. Would that have anything to do with it? Would distance to the capital... What settlement is this again? What am I clicked on? Why would it not say it here? Why was it not... Okay, whatever. See, it's funny because like people will say that the UI in older Total War games is better than the remastered, and I don't know. I'm just like, really? Are you sure that's not nostalgia? Just speaking because, well, look, I mean, it's fine for for me coming from Shogun 1 and Medieval 1. I'm happy with what I'm seeing here, but I can see how there could be improvements. It's just like, I don't know. People are funny sometimes. Anyway, if we could continue to like, I wonder. Okay, so Trier is my capital. So distance to capital, gosh, it wouldn't be, yeah, because like, so Trier is my capital. We got brigands right there. So it wouldn't be like a distance to capital thing, would it? No. Culture penalty? 40%. 5%. See, again, that's wildly different numbers. And I'm pretty sure we just had rebels up here. That's why these guys are here, is because they just fought brigands up here. Yeah, it's really hard to say. Tax penalty, 40%. Tax penalty doesn't have it. Oh, so there's no tax penalty for your capital. Huh. Okay. All right. I guess that makes sense, maybe. 20% tax penalty. Why is there 0% tax penalty in Lebanon? What do we, low, oh, low tax. Okay, so low taxes means 0%. Okay, got it. Right. Yeah, so I'm just, forgive me while I'm a little curious, that's all. Sorry. So 40% culture penalty for these places. So yeah, again, that's not adding up. That's not adding up to anything that paints a clear picture, you know? Yeah, anyway, moving on with that. Sorry if that was really hard to watch. I just wanted to see if anything showed up that was clearly different between my Iberian provinces and my Gallic provinces, and nothing stood out based on that. But yeah, again, this is definitely worth checking out. Let's fight some brigands. Orders. Can I even beat this army? They have a 1-star general, and then they have 4 more mystery units. This is my really shitty army that I have archers. I do have that, and then barbarian mercenaries, and then 2 beat up barbarian cavalry mercenaries. And then I have you. And yeah, there's a reason why you're hunting down brigands. That's okay though. That's okay. You should still be good enough. I was thinking about bringing up these legionary cav, but I don't want any of them. I don't want to use these guys because I could only train them in a handful of places in my entire empire. So
General,
Hopefully I can just
engage the enemy.
beat these guys.
Victory!
Nope, can't reach them. Never mind. And then where was the other? Oh, I know there's more. Oh yeah, these guys, right. These guys. All right. I think I'm okay. I need to pick up these troops up here in Tara.
Set sail!
These early legionaries have to come up, and then they're pretty much ready to go. I can bring up my cav and my dogs and go there. And we can get those guys in a couple of turns. And yeah, we're just going to move closer to... Like, we're going to start moving in position here. Get the artillery there, and then get you guys here, and then board the boats. Can you guys board the boats? Do I have to get you guys closer?
Set sail!
There we go. There we go.
To the ships. Fleet ready. Set sail!
Alright, and
To the ships.
I think I want to send those two armies to Sicily, and then the Palma army can go to Carolus.
Fleet ready. Fleet ready. Aye, Captain.
So let's get you guys going.
Set sail. No more move,
He's just gonna
sir.
take you
Aye, Captain. Set sail.
a few turns here, and then we have artillery as well that we want to bring along.
Captain.
Some ballistas and some onagers. So let's go in. And they'll be a bit behind.
No more
And then
move, sir.
you guys...
Imperator.
Let's see, I just have the one Quinkream, but... You're just going to be going to Carolus.
Sir.
I have the two onagers. Yeah, let's just go. Let's get you guys in here. Palmas, nope, not happy. There, now they're happy.
Fleet ready.
Okay, all right, that's that. And that leaves Iberia empty in regards to like real army strength. I have some scattered troops here and there. So, yeah, I guess if I really needed to, I could cobble together a defense force. But the Scipii don't really have anything in Western Africa. They have one unit garrisoning Tingi. They have 2 units garrisoning Cirta. It would be so tempting to just take those 2 settlements, but the thing is that once I take something that's on North Africa, then the Scipii is going to be all what's the word? Just beelining for those settlements. And that would be fine if I had a plan to reinforce those settlements, but I don't. I don't really have anything extra that can go down and then fight off 1 million Scipii armies. Now, if they all hop on their boats and try to come at me that way, I might be able to kind of put things together. I do have some naval forces that I can maybe cobble together that can fight off the Scipii navy. Maybe.
Aye, Captain.
It's hard to say, but I could at least slow them down.
Leaving the army.
But I don't know if I could actually, defeat their navy mano a mano. And I don't know if I could hold these 2 settlements. Even Tingi and Cirta, sure, they're barely defended, and down here this Dimity as well, barely defended. But even these 2 settlements aren't really mutually. Look, they don't even fit on the same goddamn screen. You have to scroll over. That's how far apart they are. So it's not like, just because they're neighbors, it's not like you can say, no, it's fine. My Tinky army will reinforce me. No, they won't. They're going to be so far away. So yeah, it's kind of a tough thing. And I'm fighting in North Africa in my Egypt campaign. I don't need to do that in both campaigns. I'm good on that. No, thank you. I'm fine fighting, taking Carolus and Sicily and Capua, and then focusing on the Brudii and taking the rest of my necessary settlements for my win con off of the Brudii. I think I'm more okay with that. They're going to force my hand because once the Civil War starts, where are there 1 million armies going to go? Who knows? That's going to be the game, is reacting to where they're going while also taking what I can off of them. That's going to be the little give and take right there. And I think that maybe having my 3 Iberian invasion armies just kind of holding Sicily against any potential Scipii waves coming from North Africa, that's a way to use those resources, and then saving everything else I have for attacking the Brutii settlements. And the fact that I don't have any, like, the fact that I'm not making money right now means that it's going to be very tight. I need to start making money off of my newly conquered territories, like, right away, and start rebuilding more troops and more soldiers and retraining and continue the pressure. Honestly, if I get caught on the back foot, it's going to get very tough for me. So what else can we start moving into position? I have some artillery right here, and rip, that's my last artillery piece that I need. Now, here's a question. I don't think, so when it comes to diplomatic penalties of having your armies on your allies' armies, so like with the Romans, we have military access to everyone else's place. So hanging out on their territories does not cause any issues, right? Even if, and I know this is funny and stupid, but like, I start wheeling up artillery outside of the walls of their settlements. Like, I get that that's really dumb and silly, but I think it's hilarious. It's just funny, you know, like, don't mind us. It's just a heavy onager. Why are you worried? And then just like launching a blitz all at the same time. Like, it's just so stupid, but that's what I'm going to do if I can get away with it. Because my artillery, they can't, I have to send them ahead of my armies because they move slower. So I have to like send these guys down, and they're just going to like wait a turn for the other armies to catch up. It's going to be really silly. So looking at the way Rome is positioned right here, there's the river right here. And then I guess that, so I would want to set siege. So this is a little bit awkward, even though I do want to take all 4 settlements at the same time. I can't really do that. I would have to dedicate 3 armies to this. And here's why. 1 army to lay siege to Rome. That is so that when I defeat these 2 armies, they don't have anywhere to retreat back to. I think that's how that works. I think that makes sense to me. Once that 1 army has laid siege to Rome, then in the very same turn, 2 more armies would come down and fight these 2 senatorial armies. And yeah, even if I don't kill all of them, I can track them down and kill them, and I can obviously take Rome itself, so that should be fine. Then my 4th army would be taking, say, Capua, I guess. And then immediately after that, at least 2 of the armies can jump down and take Tarentum and Croton. So that's the idea with that. I think, I mean, unless... Would I rather, with that 1 army that I have, would I rather bypass Capua and prioritize Tarentum? Just to give myself a little bit of a, oh, I don't know. Since it's going to take an extra turn, I feel like I'd rather take something off of the Brutii than the Scipii. I don't know. My gut just tells me to hit them rather than hit the Scipii. Kind of depends on how long it would take the armies to walk from Rome to down here. Say 2 turns-ish, something like that. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I think that that's going to be the plan then. The one I just described. Take Rome, take Capua, jump down, take these 2 places. And while that's happening, I'll be taking Carolus. And I can be attacking... Lilybaeum has like a little over a half stack here. Yeah, they have a 3/4 stack here in Lilybaeum. Don't know what they have. I could use some more spies. I'm training spies in Mediolanium. So sending some spies down there would be a nice idea as well.
Aye, Captain.
Because I would like to know what they have. Is it going to be, you know, urbans, praetorians? Like, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. So, gosh, I should do that right now. Yeah, these boats aren't doing anything. And I have 2 spies. Yeah, these guys were going to be meant for Italy, but screw that. This is more important. Because this is looking like the most important, toughest fight of the first turn of the Civil War. So knowing what they have there is going to be pretty crucial. Okay, okay. And then we've already talked about this, but yeah, taking Lovosek is going to be part of the plan. And of course, taking Segestica with an army that's not going to be fully complete, but it will be complete enough to take down 2 units inside of a large stone wall defended place in the 2 turns it takes to build these heavy onagers. Yeah, what's better? 2 regular onagers or 1 set of heavy onagers? I don't know. What's the difference in upkeep and price and everything? So 1,050 compared to 830. So one of these is cheaper to build than 2 of those. Upkeep would be 120 versus 120. Okay, so the upkeep's the same. So it would be cheaper for just 1 heavy onager. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Here we are in the next turn, and I just had to point this out because I thought this was so interesting. So Secundus Augunius here in Carthago Nova, not here, but here. And wait, where am I? Down here, yes. Aristarchus, retinue, has been picked up. This is, I'm assuming, an historical person. And the benefits he gives are just very interesting. So, an astronomer and mathematician who thinks the Earth revolves around the sun. However mad he is, he can provide accurate measurements of distance and perform complex calculations. +1 command at sea, and then 10% bonus on all trade income. Now, trade income, yeah, that makes sense, but +1 command at sea is very interesting because it was my understanding, and it still is my understanding, that the people who have command at sea are the admirals of the boats. So does he add to his admiral's command rating? Well, I have a boat right here, so I'm. Oh shit! I didn't mean to skip. Didn't mean to skip through that.
Imperator.
It didn't add a command star, did it? No, it did not. Didn't add anything to him. Huh.
Ready to sail.
So I think I'm assuming that doesn't do anything. I'm assuming that's one of those things that was in the game that didn't end up. It was like so rare that the developers, like one developer did it, and the rest of them were like, "What? No, that's not a thing." Huh? It's interesting anyway. Now we should be able to catch these brigands, although it does look like it's going to be a forest fight, so that's going to be a little bit frustrating. We have no vision on them still. Okay, all right. Well,
Imperator. Prepare for battle.
I wonder, can we get these guys? Are they going to be able to reinforce?
Ambush in place.
I wonder if they would be able to reinforce. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate the help. Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Engage the enemy.
So what do they have? So 2 warband, 1 peasant, and 1 naked fanatics. That's fine, and it looks like they might be right on the outside of the forest based on what this is looking like, and I might be start inside of the forest. And then my reinforcements would be coming on behind them. So yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. Let's make sure that I am controlling this, and let's dive on in. Right off the bat, we are going to be starting with a little bit of trees in front of us, but not quite the forested map that I was sort of expecting, so that's okay by me. I have good archers, and they do not. So they don't have any archers at all, in fact. So we're just going to be clearing the trees here, and then are they going to be trying to dive my dudes? Yeah, their general's taking a peek. He's looking at us. And what do we have here? I don't even know. Town Watch, Auxilia, Warband. So can we get these guys just lined up and looking strong? And the 2 cav units. Just do that. Yeah, this force is actually pretty weak now that I'm looking at it, but that is A-okay. I think that this army is gonna be fine. Our archers are now in range, and unfortunately it has started to snow, so their effectiveness is going to be diminished a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. They're already tearing on into these peasants. However, let's try to... They're not in range of the warband, are they? They are not. And the fanatics are hidden in the trees. So peasants... Okay, fanatics don't... The naked fanatics are coming forward. Let them then. Let them come forward and we can shred on into them. Let's select my archers and make sure that they're all firing on into them. Actually, no, that's not fanatics. Those are warband, so that must be the naked... Yeah, those are the naked boys right there. Just shred on into them. Let's get my general on over, ready to flank, and you guys can start war crying. And that's... Nope, that's it. Yeah, they're like, nope, we don't want any of that smoke. So let's just make sure that my archers are on not... fire at will so that my general can run these guys down, and then let's go ahead and get you guys up. And my general just decided not to. He's like, nah, I'm good. That was weird, but it's fine. I was gonna tell him to do that anyway. It's okay. And their general seems pretty concerned with my reinforcements that aren't doing anything, so that's fine by me. He certainly has his priorities. Yeah, there's... The guy's like not gonna attack. I mean, I can just distract him, and that's cool. That does the trick. Let's keep hanging out down there, and up here we can just let my archers do all the heavy lifting. That is fine by me. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to tell them it's okay to fire now because they're not going to be killing their own general. That's right. Right. Our archers have just had time to shred their entire army. They've just stood there and took it, so that's all fine by me because they're pretty much eliminated. Yeah, naked fanatics down to 16 men, warband down to 72, peasants down to 7. There's another warband, I think, somewhere hiding somewhere, and their generals just still continuing to look off at my reinforcements as if they're the real threat. Well, they're not. My archers are, but my archers are running pretty low on ammunition, so it's going to be coming down to a melee once that happens. The rebel general has just now looked behind him and realized, oh shoot, my army's dead. This entire time he's been staring off into the distance at my reinforcements, and yeah, he forgot to tell his own men to stop getting shot by arrows. Now he looks like he's coming in for a charge, so let's get my guys on war cry mode here. And war cry mode, war cry, yep. And looks like, yeah, where does he think he's going? Because we don't need to be dragging this out any longer. Let's send them and then them. And then let's send my cav up from down there as well. And I don't know, you guys can definitely, all of you guys can definitely run. And let's finish him off. So he's going to be taking a charge here. Yes, he is. And you guys are taking the long way around. Okay, and there we go. So battle's over. We lost one man. One bodyguard died at the very end.
The day is...
That is fine. And I did see a... Was it a 1-unit army down in Iberia? After all of this time talking about how there's no brigands down here, look at what we got here. An Iberian infantryman. Well, luckily, it's right next to Numantia. And this kind of goes against another thing that was kind of pointed out in the game code that I maybe misread or misunderstood. But it was mentioning how like it really tries to not be next to provincial capitals, I thought, or settlements, I guess. Maybe I read that wrong and it meant to say like not next to the empire capital. So like now that would be Trier, but that doesn't make sense. We just literally fought a brigand army in the province of Germania Superior, and this is my capital, right? It's my capital. So that doesn't quite fly, and yet this also doesn't quite fly either. But luckily we got some Balearic Slingers and Barbarian Mercenaries and some Roman Cavalry. That should be enough to kill... I don't know, let's try that again. That should be enough to kill 1 unit of Iberian Infantry. So, let's get them. We have now cornered this Iberian infantrymen here in the forest, and they seem like they want to go after my cavalry. So let's bring over some Barbarian Mercenaries. They're going to be hit by some Slingers on their way in, and they are taking, they're taking a fair few casualties as well. They want to charge my cav, that's fine by me. We can get a little war cry action going on here. Let's make sure that you guys stop firing after that. And let's charge them. I know it's cav in the forest. I know, but I think that... Jesus Christ. There we go. That's that. So let's end the battle, and we lost... Wow, 5 guys. That's crazy. Man.
The day is ours!
In that brief split second, I lost 5 cavalrymen to an Iberian infantry in the forest. That is insane. That is just insane. Oh dear, oh dear.
Victory and glory!
Victory and glory! Alright, let's get you back to Namantia. And I think we're good. Yeah, we're making... We actually, wait, I thought I saw some brigands. Nope, just seeing ghosts. Look at the edge. So we got you ready to lay siege to Rome. Got some heavy onagers on the way. And some more heavy onagers heading to Capua. These 2 armies are ready to attack the Senate armies. It's just like, it's so silly. Some more onagers headed down to Tarentum. And then this army is going to be laying siege to Capua, I think. Yeah, Capua. Yeah, alright. Oh dear. Alright, and then you guys, are you ready to go? Yeah, 1 turn before the heavy onager is finished, and then we can start to march on to Gestica. Yes, perfect. And then I guess you guys as well. Yeah, we may as well. Faction leader, you've been hanging out here in Vicus Marcomanni for quite some time now, and it's time for you to do something else with your life. So get inside of this army, and this army's okay. Why is this army? I think they have too many early legionaries. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, 4, and that's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, I wish so. Is it true that it takes until Shogun 2 before Creative Assembly realized they could organize the army panel based on unit types so that you can see it easier? That's it. I mean, I think that's when the franchise finally does that. And that's incredible that it took that long. Is that 10 years? 10 years into the franchise and they're like, oh yeah, let's organize this. That is crazy. That is so long to realize. Like, man, it's just funny. It just goes to show like how long these things take, you know? It looking back on it, you know, it's kind of easy to overlook these things. And I know that there's a lot of complaints with certain aspects of, you know, newer Total War titles and the lack of development speed of certain things. But I just don't think that people really understand how long it takes for things to happen until they look on the history of things. And this is, of course, true for learning about history in general, not just, you know, video game development history, which isn't something that I'm, you know, an expert on in any way, shape, or form. But when you learn about history in general, there's, at least for me, there's an amazement at how long it takes for systems to develop. And I think that that has given me an appreciation for, oh, I don't know, I guess the modern world. Like, I know there's a lot of, I think that, you know, people can complain about this and that about the modern world and you know, history and just, you know, people like to complain about anything. And I think learning about history is sort of it's given me a different perspective on that. And it's helped me to be not so complainy and so whiny about certain things, whether we're talking about, you know, video game development history or video game development in the future, in the current, in the process, whether it's like, I don't know, even corporate modern stuff, which is very frustrating to deal with. There's evolutions to all of these things, and they're happening for a reason. There's reasons why these things develop the way that they do. And sometimes it can be really silly when you look back on them and go, what? This took 10 years to figure this out and make this, not look like shit, but that's history. That's evolution. It takes a long time, to figure out what to us might seem like a simple thing. Oh, hello. Oh, this is cool. Wait a minute. The Thracians. Okay, this is kind of funny. I had set this army up south of Vicus Venedi in a forest just because I was, essentially preparing for the Brudii. I didn't think the Thracians were going to come in this way. I know that they were postured up on this side of the bridge, but I figured they had enough to deal with, and I thought that they were happy with our ceasefire. But here they are crossing the bridge. I have pretty much a full stack here, and they just have their general, correct? It's just him. 5-star general, sure, but and it's an ambush fight? That's really cool. So is this going to be, I actually don't know how these work. I don't think I've ever fought one before. Is it going to be like us on either side of him? Or does that not get put into Total War games till a little bit later?
Await my orders!
What is the deal? It is, yeah, it's actually set up that way. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, it's set up so that we can deploy anywhere inside of this red, anywhere, all around them, and then they can set up in the middle. And do they have an objective of getting out of the trap, essentially? Is that their goal? I've never done this before. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm a little bummed that I'm fighting against the Thracians. This isn't really what I wanted to be doing, but since it's happening, I'm I don't know, kind of glad that I get to experience this in kind of a low stakes setting, just me against a general's bodyguard unit rather than, me against an entire army. On this side, I have my spears and light auxilia with my general, and then on the front, I got my heavy infantry trying to support, stop them from escaping, I suppose. And then on this side, a little bit lighter, archers, Roman cavalry, which is kind of like my light medium cav, and then my jav cav, and some dogs. And I'm hoping if they do charge my weaker side, my dogs can just kind of hold them in place while I'm able to pepper them with archers, javelins, and all that good stuff. So let's just send the dogs just right away. And let's see which direction. Yeah, he's thinking about this side. Yep, that's where he's going. And the dog's gonna go. I would prefer it if the dogs hit him. There we go. And are you guys tossing your javelins on in? Because, yeah, you guys can toss your javelins in. You guys continue to shoot at him. And, of course, you guys as well. Yes, there we go. I suppose
the enemy's
continue the fight. Yeah. Yeah, let's try to kill this guy and stop him from getting away. Yeah, you guys go, and they realize that they're caught. And come on, get him. One left. It's just him. It's just the general. Come on, guys. There we go.
Victory from our generals, and this day is clearly our victory.
Yeah, they got the job done, but man, I think they were hitting a lot of their own guys with javelins, which is a shame. Yeah, I lost 7 men. I think I lost more than that due to friendly fire. But we killed a Thracian general who was, I don't know, just kind of looking around in my territory. Don't know what that was all about, but
Sir!
Let's see. It wasn't you. No, it was up here. It was you.
General!
And yeah, the Cav got a little bit banged up, which is annoying for sure. Just because any knocks that I take,
Ready to ambush.
any knocks that I take, I have to get, repaired in Vicus Venedi or Domus Dulcis Domus, so it can be a bit of a journey to get around up here. Not a lot of money in the treasury. Yeah, not a lot of money. And Curia finished there in Arbor Martius, probably the last building I'll be building in a little while here, which is a shame because I really need to get this this proconsul's palace here in Osca. In fact, it seems like they're suffering due to it. Yeah, due to the fact that we don't have it. They're not doing okay. So let's try to get some peasants trained up here. 70%'s not the worst, but it's not the best either. And yeah, we got war again with Thrace. That's too bad. It's too bad it had to happen that way. Because I'm as soon as like we start the Civil War, I'm keen to get an alliance with them, not just a ceasefire, but a freaking alliance with them, so that we can maybe, you know, push back the Brutii. They have stacks, you know, and it would be better if those stacks would be pointed in the Brutii direction and not mine. In fact,
Can I be of service?
perhaps you can. How old are you, 60? I should probably spend what limited money that I have and get a diplomat down here in Vicus Venedi, and then you can go east so that as soon as we can talk to the Thracians and try to, yeah, turn them against the Brutii. We have people down here ready to talk to Egypt.
Can I be of service?
Yeah, you continue to move
Without
east. You are already here, but you're already... 45 is not bad. You'll be around for a while. But yeah, I want to be able to talk to the Egyptians and the Thracians. Maybe the Pontics as well, but that's going to be a little bit awkward because the Pontics are at war with Egypt. So yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad that it's kind of... It'd be nice if I could broker a peace deal between the two and tell them to focus on the Scipii. It looks like between the two, it looks like Pontus is doing better than Egypt. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, Pontus, Armenia's still around, but they're not really a player in all this. I guess Egypt has all this. So they do have stuff. And Parthia exists just up here, basically. Yeah, it would be nice to kind of... Yeah, like Egypt has enough to put up a fight and potentially, I don't know, distract the Scipii. And if the Pontics could distract the Brutii from south, while the Thracians distract from the north, that would also be ideal. While I am continuing to move people into position here, this entire time I've been kind of humming and hawing about what do I want to do with Cassius Nasica here in Ivanum. And I've been deciding up until now against taking a Quincum on that turn 1 blitz, just because, well, for one thing, it's a little bit out there and it is only defended by wooden walls. So that would, sure, easier to take, but harder to hold. I could build stone wall. It's a minor city, so I could build stone walls, and I think 3 turns is how long it takes. I think so. There's a minor Brutii army in the area. Well, I say minor. They do have legionaries, so there is that. Gosh, I don't know. I could. Well, I'm poor, so I can't even afford any ballistas to train up and bring that way. Something that I'm considering. So you are standing here. Decimus Minucius is sitting here on this bridge, potentially to, I don't know, protect this operation up here. The thing is that when I'm considering that Lovosic and Segestica are going to be, mine in the first turn of this war, it makes a Quincum look less isolated, I suppose. And since I do have 3 armies up here to support this operation, and this army is also in ambush stance, which I kind of like the idea of, you, instead of holding this bridge, you could just hold this bridge. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Gosh, I don't have any more artillery, do I? Nothing hiding around? No, nothing. I guess it's not the worst thing to have to build rams for 1 turn. Is anyone in range? You're not quite in range, and you're not in range either. So let's do it then. Let's bring you guys out and make sure that you guys... Nope, Ivanum needs some juice. Yeah, maybe train some more peasants. Yeah, maybe do that. And then Which army wants to hold the bridge? I think the army with the scorpion wants to hold the bridge. Well, the army that does not have the scorpion can take the town. Since the scorpion doesn't act as a counter building / fortification, right? Let me just double check that. It doesn't... Yeah, ineffective against walls and buildings, unfortunately. But it can hold a bridge. It's going to get there in 3 turns. And you could get there now. Fine then. How about you go straight to the bridge, and then you can lay siege to a Quincum, but then you can just send your scorpions to Decimus Minucius, well, you know, right afterwards. Hopefully in time to defend it. Now, you guys, if you were to come up this way, you would be able to attack from this direction, but they also might just decide to attack Segestica, right? And what do you have? No, we have no idea. Yeah, we have no idea. Oh, actually, I keep forgetting. Spies! Yes, you guys need to spy. So let's send you... Let's see, do I want to send a spy to Rome, or let's just go down to Capua there. And I kind of want to send you off in this direction so we can start getting eyes on these armies and see what's going on there. And then, yeah, you guys continue on down. Let's unload these spies here. Do we see what they have? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that I looked. So 3 urbans and 2 praetorians and 2 legionaries with some silver weapon and shield upgrades on all of these guys. Only a 1-star general, but still, oh my god. And some legionary cavalry to boot. Luckily, no long range stuff other than some light auxilia, and that's it. So, holy shit. Okay, that is terrifying. Is there a spy that's stuck on the... Your Honor. Okay, that was a little weird. That was a little weird. Yeah, my goodness. I think I would rather draw that army out into the open rather than attacking it in a siege, despite the fact that they're only being defended by wooden walls. I mean, gosh, do I take Syracuse and Messana and force them to come out and fight me on open ground? I mean, I could just 2v1 them with these 2 armies. Yeah, you're headed here. Can I get this army? No, I cannot. Okay. So you guys are going to continue in this direction.
Yes, Captain. Move depleted, sir. Ready to sail. Yes.
And we might have to 2v1 Lilybaeum. Sure enough, after spending some time talking about how there's no brigands ever spawning in Iberia, here we are, 2 turns in a row, more brigands in Iberia. Peasants, skirmishers, and 3 mystery units. Well, I have a general here, an old one, Placus Fufetius, and 4 legionaries that could ride out, and I do have other men as well that could come over. I don't need all of them though, do I? I mean, 5 units. Could bring those 5, and I kind of just want to bring the cav and the slingers.
Move out. Out of move.
And that should be enough. We also finally have this army together up here in Britain, so let's finally get rid of these gosh darn brigands that are just up here hanging out. Look at all the devastation they've caused. Wait, I can't reach them? Are you joking my ass? I was standing right next to them, and I can't reach them? They retreated once, and I can't reach them? What are you doing, spy?
Secrecy is assured.
I don't understand how that happened. Because they stepped off the road by like a foot? Oh my god. I don't understand what just happened there. Devastation, 173 denarii per turn is what we're losing here. That's not that bad, but I think that's because this region's poor and not so much because it's that's not bad devastation. That looks like bad devastation to me. Tribus Siluri. Well, once this army is finished beating these brigands, they can hop on a boat. Yeah, they can hop on these boats, and I can send them. I would just bring them all the way east and have them reinforce this sector, just because it's just so far. It just feels so far. The Senate really did just send me, beyond my comfort zone. Speaking of which, I thought I saw some brigands up here. Was I wrong about that? See, I'm just seeing ghosts. Of course, there's no brigands. The brigands aren't real. They're all in my head. Moving on into the next turn, and Titus Corbula has been betrothed to Encaria. He's 48 years old. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Publicly loyal, so 100% increase to cost of bribe. Yeah, I mean, sure, but decline. You can do better. Encaria, if that's the real name. Popularity falls with the Senate. Ooh. And treasury total, oh my god. Minus 3,300 and so my treasury's at minus 2,528. Holy shit. Okay. And yeah, popularity. You're standing among the senators of Rome is ebbing away, and this should be a cause for concern. Well, actually, in their mind, this should be a cause for concern. Oh, yeah. Who's concerned now? You should be, because I have a lot of armies. God damn it, fucking brigands. I'm busy. Guys, can't you see? I'm in the middle of something. The first brigands ever in Etruria happens right when I'm starting the Civil War. Yeah, it's funny. It does kind of feel like not having military presence in a region causes brigands. But that could just be my imagination. But notice how... So let's follow the pattern here, right? I had quite a few stacks here in Britain. All right, yes, the New Britain, Iberia. And as soon as they got on their boats, we've had 2 back-to-back brigand forces. And then, looking here, as soon as we move out of this region here, we get our little brigand stack. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if there's something to that, but it's not enough. It's not enough. We need more data.
General.
All right, so I think you can get on that bridge. You can. All right, your watch is over, my friend. You now stand on that bridge. You have 2 ballistas, so you're going to be really good at standing on bridges. The Thracians are like, yep, there be monsters in those woods, so don't go that way. So that's good for them. And then you, I suppose, yeah, you guys step out for a minute. You get in there. And can we, Jesus Christ, we can't afford to retrain anything. Duh. I knew that, guys. I was just testing you. I was making sure that you knew. All right. So you guys, can you just get out?
Sir.
You can't? All right, just lower the taxes then, I guess. That's fine too. Man, and we got some brigands popping up here too, outside of Mogontiacum. Jeez Louise. Peasants, warband, fanatics, and 3 more mystery units. What do we have? Do we have anything in the region? Well, we have you guys, so yeah, I guess you guys can go east and deal with them.
Prepare for battle.
So we can do that, and then we can do this, and we can come down here and fight these brigands. Yeah, okay. So remember when I did not make a promise at the beginning of this episode about starting the Civil War today? It's a good thing. It's a good thing I didn't make that promise. Don't even rewind this video. Just double check. I didn't say it. I had my fingers crossed, I swear. Anyway, so it should start though in the next episode. It should. I would think so. My armies are like pretty much set up and ready to go. For the most part, we're getting there. Yeah, you guys can go there. Yeah, the Scipii are like, what's going on here? Send in a couple units. What's going on here? And yeah, I'm worried about this. This is going to be a scrap though.
Aye, Captain.
What do I have again? Early legionaries
Fleet ready.
and
Aye, Captain.
early legionaries. Ugh. Oh, shoot. At least I have legionary cavalry. What about this army? They have legionary cavalry as well, don't they? Yes, they do. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should have sent this army
General.
to Sicily because they have legionaries. What mercenaries can you get? Peltasts, hoplites, and Balearic slingers. Cool. Yeah, that's going to be a scrap. It's very tempting to take these two instead. I do have artillery. It's going to be a little, yeah. So they're lagging behind. Yeah, they're lagging behind a little bit. So that's going to be a couple turns before they arrive. That gives me time to mop up some brigands in the meantime. Other than that, oh, more brigands in a territory that I don't own, but I very soon will own. Archer Warband, and Barbarian Peasants. Hey, Brutia, you want to come up here and kill those brigands for us and then leave? Yeah, if they inhabit Aquincum like right before we attack, that's going to be annoying. But I think it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. Yeah, this is going to be very, very fun when it kicks off. I'm very much looking forward to it, but this is all going to have to wait until next time. Before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. And I also do have a channel membership, so consider signing up for that as well. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Conasep playing Rome Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.